From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Tuesday, May the 28th, 2019. We open with the political situation in Israel, with the deadline for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to form a coalition coming up tomorrow, May the 29th. And as of the time of the taping of this newscast, it was still unclear whether a last-minute deal could be reached to form a coalition or whether Israel might be heading to another round of elections. Last-minute negotiations were reportedly being held by Netanyahu's Likud party to try and avert early elections. Netanyahu earlier today said that he had found a compromise regarding the Haredi draft law that demands that all ultra-Orthodox men join the IDF. A deadlock over that bill is one of the main issues keeping Yisrael Beitenu leader Avigdor Lieberman from joining Netanyahu's coalition. Details of the compromise were not released, but there were reports that Lieberman said later today that there was no room for compromise on this issue. Last night, the Knesset passed the first reading of a bill to dissolve itself and will vote again on the bill tomorrow night. If such a bill were to pass, elections could be held this September. Earlier today, Likud approved a proposal from Netanyahu to merge with the Kulanu party, giving its leader, Moshe Kahlon, the number 5 spot in the coalition, as well as 3 additional seats for his party members. In the event of early elections, Kulanu and Likud would run on a joint slate. American officials are said to be heading back to Israel. Israel's Channel 13 reported that a delegation led by senior White House advisor Jared Kushner, together with the U.S. Representative for International Negotiations Jason Greenblatt and Special Representative for Iran Brian Hook, arrived in the Moroccan capital of Rabat today to discuss with its leader next month's Bahrain conference, which is co-hosted by the U.S. and focuses on the economic aspect of the U.S. peace plan for Israel and the Palestinians. The delegation will reportedly then head to Amman, Jordan, and then to Jerusalem. The IDF said that the Syrian army tried unsuccessfully to shoot down one of its fighter jets that was on a routine mission inside Israeli airspace yesterday. The IDF retaliated and bombed the launcher that fired at the Israeli jet. Prime Minister Netanyahu stressed on social media that our policy is clear: we will not tolerate any aggression against us, and we will respond forcefully. German Chancellor Angela Merkel, as well as Jewish organizations and others, responded to a warning last week from Germany's anti-Semitism commissioner, Felix Klein, suggesting that it was too dangerous for Jews in parts of Germany to wear kippot, skullcaps, because of the rise of anti-Semitism there. Klein told the Berliner Morgenpost on Friday, "I can't recommend that Jews can wear a kippah everywhere and anytime, sad to say." Israel's President Reuven Rivlin said in response that while he appreciates the commitment of the German government towards the Jewish community, we will never submit, we will never lower our gaze, and will never react to anti-Semitism with defeatism, adding, "and we expect and demand our allies act in the same way." The American Jewish Committee praised Germany for being a leader in the fight against anti-Semitism, but writing on social media, "Yet if German Jews are being warned against wearing kippot in public, much more must clearly be done." CEO of the Anti-Defamation League, Jonathan Greenblatt, wrote on Twitter that more action was needed. U.S. Ambassador to Germany, Richard Grenell, tweeted in response to Klein's remarks, "The opposite is true. Wear your kippah," he tweeted. "Wear your friend's kippah. Borrow a kippah and wear it for our Jewish neighbors." And in fact, Germany's largest newspaper, Bild, printed a kippah on its front page yesterday so that Germans could cut it out and wear it as a show of support. German Chancellor Angela Merkel's spokesman Stefan Siebert stressed yesterday that it's the job of the state to ensure that anybody can move around securely with a skullcap in any place of our country. Meanwhile, in an exclusive interview with CNN's Christiane Amanpour today, Merkel responded to the rise of anti-Semitism in Germany, stating that there is still work to be done.
Unfortunately, there is to this day not a single synagogue, not a single daycare center for Jewish children, not a single school for Jewish children that does not need to be guarded by German policemen. But we have to face up indeed to the specters of the past. We have to tell our young people what history has brought over us and others, and these horrors.
The Anti-Defamation League criticized a tweet from Politico about Jewish Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders. Politico posted an article on Sanders' wealth showing him next to a money tree. Under the heading, Bernie Sanders might still be cheap, but he's sure not poor. Well, after criticism, Politico changed the photo and the wording, adding that for the record, this replaces a deleted tweet that needed more context. Our apologies. The ADL tweeted in response, in this dangerous climate of rising anti-Semitism, all media organizations have a responsibility to be careful not to perpetuate anti-Semitic tropes, such as those about Jews and wealth. Well, an exhibit of photographs of Holocaust survivors in Austria was vandalized for a third time yesterday. The exhibit, which has been running since May the 7th, includes some 60 portraits by German-Italian photographer Luigi Toscano. At least 9 of those have been defaced with swastikas and cut with knives over the last 3 weeks. The last incident discovered just yesterday. And now artists from a local theater group, together with Muslim and Catholic youth activists, are teaming up to make sure that yesterday's incident was the last time, volunteering to keep a vigil at the exhibit until it closes this Friday. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Tuesday, May the 28th at 7 o'clock, Israeli feminist icon Alice Shalvi reflects on her life's journey. At 8, it's a discussion of genetic testing, fertility, and hereditary diseases. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with World War II veteran and Israeli activist William Langfan on L'chaim. At 10, Martin Fletcher talks about his book, Promised Land, A Novel Israel. And coming up right after this newscast tonight, it's Insight to Israel. And that's the JBS News Update for Tuesday, May the 28th, 2019. I'm Teisha Bader.